What's up, guys? I'm out here at Mount Holly Motorsports in New Jersey, and I am on an R3. Wait for it, wait for it. This is going to be an interesting one, a very interesting one. Okay, for a little 300, all right. This guy's doing the same shit I'm doing, but he's not going anywhere. He's a little bit bigger than I am. But what is up, guys? I got a little bit to talk about. Right now I'm on a 2016 Yamaha R3. This is my first time on a 250 or a 300 out. I take that back. I took the motorcycle safety course, the MSF course. So because of that, that's why I think this will be a nice review. I'm a person who went from knowing nothing. I took the MSF course, learned on that, bought a 600, started on that, bought a 1000, and now I'm coming to you guys reviewing this bike. And I ride a sport bike. For those of you guys who don't know, if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, make sure to check out a few of my other videos, my moto vlogs, and see what I'm about. But onto the bike today. So today, I'm on this R3. This is my first Yamaha I think I've ridden. My first, yeah, I think it is. Oh my God, this bike's just got nothing. I don't know if you guys can tell. The bike just, it doesn't have much. So here's some pros and cons. Pros, I love the color, I love the look. This is that like that matte grayish color with the red accents, like the red pinstripes on it. So I'm a huge fan of the color. I love the look of it. From afar, you wouldn't really know that it's a 300 bike, you know? You would think it's a higher displacement bike. It's aggressive, which I like, and it looks good. Those are the main things. I like the smaller windscreen. I really like this dash. I'm a big fan of the tack, how you got the big tack. You got the gear. Oh, it's got a gear indicator. I didn't even see that. It's got a gear indicator. Your trip. It's got your miles per hour right there, your speedometer. You got your gas gauge. You got your temperature. You got everything. You got your neutral light, high beam light, turn signal light, all that. On the left-hand side, you got your pass button. You got your high beams. You got your turn signals. And then on the right, oh, horn too. Can't forget the horn. On the right, you got your kill switch and your starter button. One thing I'm not a fan of, oh my God, that car came close to that biker. One thing I'm not a fan of is the size of the bike. I'm just not a fan of, like, if you guys look down here, if I can tilt the camera down for you guys, it's just really narrow in here, you know, but it makes sense. It's a small bike, only 300 cc's, small displacement, you know, it has a small gas tank, so I understand that. I just don't like how narrow the bike is. I like my bikes a tiny bit beefier for a sport bike. The seat's normal. The seat is just like any other sport bike, just as uncomfortable as any other sport bike. I feel like I'm slanted down a little bit sitting in the seat, which I'm not a big fan of. I feel like I sit flatter on my CBR 1000. It does have a rear seat though. I wouldn't suggest going 2 up on this bike because you can barely get it moving 1 up on this bike. You can do what you want. I'm not gonna make that decision for you. It's very nimble, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're in complete control if you're just going back and forth using all the tire, you know. Unfortunately, on this ride, they don't bring us into many like deep turns and nice twists and stuff, so I won't be able to get to try it out. But it's really a nimble bike, but understandably so. It's a 300. This guy's got to move his ass in front of me. 2 other downsides. First downside is I'm not a fan of this whole steering column. I don't like how, like, there's like this ledge right here, if you guys can see that, and then it kind of drops down in the steering column and the handlebars are a little farther up. It's like that to make it a little more comfortable, to have the handlebars closer to you. So I understand why it's there. I just don't like, I really don't like it. Plus, I think it's too plain in here. I think in the middle of the stem, or like somewhere on the like right here, they need a Yamaha logo, something to spice it up a little bit, make it a little more interesting. It's only a little bit better of a seating position than my CBR. Sorry, as I was saying, I had to get a nice pull in there, as nice as I could. It feels pretty similar to a CBR. All sports bikes are going to be just as aggressive. Now, a lot of people are interested in this bike as a starter bike. Do I think it's the best starter bike? I don't know. I can't be the judge of that. I'm not going to sit here and say a single bike is the best starter bike. Everybody's different. Do I think it is a good starter bike? Yes, I do. Especially if you're going to go and you're interested in sports bikes. You get the feeling of a sport bike without the liability of having so much power below you. You know, it's a low-powered bike, which is nice, easy to learn on. I would not suggest riding this for a while, because if you're like any motorcycle rider, or most, you're going to get bored of the power. I would get bored of the power after probably a week of this thing. You know, that's just how it is. So I do think it's a good starter bike. The Yamaha R3, a lot of people look at that as a starter bike because they like Yamaha, they like the looks of the R3, and I think it would definitely be a good starter bike. So if you're in the market for one and you're thinking about getting a Yamaha R3, I would say go for it. As long as you can afford to buy the bike and then sell it shortly thereafter because you're bored of the power, that's all I would have to say. The foot pegs are just as comfortable, the shifter, all that stuff, the brake, the rear brake I should say. It's a little more forward than it is on my CBR. My CBR is just a little more aggressive than it, but they're definitely comfortable. That bike is screaming, I'm so sorry. So see what I'm saying? It's not quick. It's not fast, it's not quick. It's enough power to teach somebody how to ride though. You really don't need tons of power. You just need to learn the fundamentals of riding, learn how to ride, learn how to control what power you have, and then you can move up. And I think this bike does that perfectly. It's got a gear indicator, it's got a gas gauge, it's got your big miles per hour, it's got a giant tach so you can see what you need to shift at. It's got all that stuff. Everything that a beginner bike would need. So I think Yamaha's really done a nice job at targeting this bike towards beginner riders, because I think this would be a great starter bike. I wouldn't want to start on it just because I'm used to quick things, and I know even back when I started riding, I would have gotten bored with it quickly. Now those bumps, they felt terrible. Those bumps felt absolutely terrible. So yeah, it's not going to be the most comfortable ride, but you guys already knew that. Overall, I'm a fan of this bike, but in the starter bike sense. I wouldn't buy one myself. I wouldn't consider buying one. But that's just me. I'm biased because I already ride a leader bike. If you're here because you want to get this as a starter bike, I'd say yes, definitely 10 out of 10, go for it. You will work your way up to leader bikes, you'll work your way up to 600s, but if you want to start out riding this as your first bike, I'd say definitely go for it. It's a nice bike. If you guys can get your hands on one, you know, you might as well go take a look at it, ride it a little bit if you can. Go to a demo day. Well, I guess you need to know how to ride a bike before you go to a demo day, so don't go to a demo day. That was full throttle, so and I'm only at 50. I rode it the first 2 gears in full throttle and only hit 54 miles an hour. So if that says anything about how quick the bike is. But like I said, you're not buying this bike to be a speed demon. You're not buying this to win any races. You're not buying this for any of those reasons. You'd be buying this to start out, and for that reason, I think it is a good starter bike. Yes, it sits very low to the ground too, which is a positive. I can flat foot on my CBR, but I can flat foot and have knee bend on this bike. So if you're a little shorter, this is probably the way to go. I can't vouch for the Ninja or the CBR 250 or 300, I should say. I can't vouch for them. I don't know their seat height, but this definitely, most people can probably touch the ground. If not, at least like be on your tippy toes enough. Oh my God, I'm smoking this bitch on the Ninja, but he won't move. Dude, if you would lose a little bit of weight, maybe you could go faster. We're almost back to the dealership. I am familiar. These rides aren't very long here. The Indian demo day, the rides were much longer. But, oh my God, 65. I'm pushing it on this thing. Let's go! Let's go! So if it's your first time stopping by my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out a few other videos to see how I normally vlog. This is just a bike review, obviously. If you liked any part of this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Much appreciated. Shout out to Mount Holly Motorsports for putting on this demo. They took all their used bikes out of their inventory and allowed us to demo them today. So shout out to them. I really appreciate that. Nice people over there. So if you get the chance, go check them out if you're local. I hope you guys liked this review and it helped out a little bit for those of you guys who are looking to buy a new bike and start out riding. If you guys are looking to buy some type of 300 as a starter bike, this is definitely the way to go. I would suggest it. So I hope this helped out for some of you guys. As always, I appreciate all your support. We're back at the dealership now, so I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace. And that's all she wrote. I'm gonna go drive home now in that obnoxious fucking yellow thing right there.